Hello, friends and family. Welcome to Livzenastrology. My name is Ella Ivy, and I'm your host for the Livzenastrology podcast. And I was called to come on here and talk about this conjunction we're having with Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus on 420. So I wanted just to kind of reflect on some energies that I've been feeling and processing as I've been navigating these currents of energy. And I love to either do card pulls or I like to access different types of technology, if you will, to tune into the frequency of these planetary energies. So of course I like to derive my own gnosis, right? Tuning into my own sense of self, what I'm feeling. And it's been really the practice of tuning into that frequency of just like, okay, let me just block out what I'm seeing on television, although I don't watch television anymore, but what I'm hearing being projected through as I'm traversing, the globe, and I'm listening to friends and neighbors and family, and just, the things that are happening on the world stage right now. And so we know as astrologers that there's this big conjunction, and you can kind of see it here on the screen. So let me see if I can make this bigger. I think you guys can see I can make this bigger. Yeah. So what I'm looking at here is here's the conjunction here this is the symbol for Jupiter, which looks like a number 4. And it's at 21 degrees, and it's right next to Uranus at 21 degrees. And the conjunction is going to be in the sign of Taurus. So if you are studying astrology or wanting to know what these aspects mean, just in a summation, just in its base terminology, Jupiter's expansion, Uranus is change, and Taurus is the body, it's money, it's our values. So in the spirit of working with these energies, I was drawn to actually utilize the technology of ChatGPT, right? Because ChatGPT has an expansion of knowledge through technology. And it's efficient, right? Because this is what Uranus likes, is efficiency. So I was utilizing ChatGPT in reference to some of the events that happened the last time that there was this conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, because this conjunction, Uranus and Jupiter meet up about every 12 years or so, based on their rotation around the sun and where it meets up together. They have different rotation spins. So Jupiter will spin around the sun once every 12 years. And Uranus once every 84 years. But every 12 years or so, they'll meet up together in a sign. And so the last time that Jupiter was conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus was 1941. And again, I'm using ChatGPT as the technology, just to look at the reference points of, okay, when was the last time this conjunction happened? And what were some of the major events that happened? And so when I plugged that in, it said that there was notable technological events, including significant advancements in military technology due to World War II. And I guess we were in World War II the last time this conjunction happened. Now, again, this is not projecting. This is just simply reflecting on the energies that were happening back in 1941, the last time that we saw this major conjunction. And it also said this period saw the development and deployment of various innovations such as radar systems, advancements in aviation technology, which that's another thing that Uranus rules, is aviation and airspace, and the development of early computers for code breaking and calculations, notably the British Colossus computers used to decrypt German messages. Additionally, there were advancements in the fields of medicine, communications, and transportation that laid the groundwork for post-war technological process. Okay, so this is what ChatGPT said, some of the things that were happening the last time that this conjunction happened. Now, I also asked ChatGPT, and I've kind of known this as well, but I wanted to see what it said. It said, what parts of the body does Uranus rule? And Uranus is associated with the nervous system, particularly the higher functions of the brain, as well as the ankles and calves, and it's said to govern innovation, originality, and sudden changes, reflecting its influences on these areas of the body. So what's significant to me that's coming into the field is, okay, we know that it's the higher parts of the brain and the nervous system. And for those of you out there that have been really feeling this nervous tension in the body, I've really been using magnesium spray. Actually, I make my own. I take magnesium flakes, and then I take 1 cup of magnesium flakes with 1 cup of distilled water, and I just lightly melt the flakes, and then I put it in a spray bottle, and you can add an essential oil to it if you like, or just use it as it is. But I've been called to use it every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And I'm using it on the bottom of my feet. I'm using it behind my legs, where my knees are, so behind the knees, and on the back of the neck, right? Because this is what I could really feel, this energy. Jupiter's about expansion, and is expanding the nervous system. It's expanding that higher octave of the brain right now. So there's a lot of repeating thoughts, we're still in Aries season right now, and Aries Mercury, which is our mind, is in retrograde in Aries. And so you can also see that too right now. Again, there's Mercury, the symbol for Mercury in Aries, and it's 16 degrees, and it's conjunct within a 3-degree orb within Venus, our love and money planet. And of course, Chiron is right next to Venus too. So we know Chiron is our wounded healer, or where the wounds are as a collective that we're all facing. And so on the world stage right now, we're facing a whole revamp, because Mercury's still in retrograde till the 24th of this month. So this is in the northern hemisphere of the United States is where I'm at right now. So around the 24th, that's when we're going to start seeing Aries go forward again, and it's going to also cross the threshold of Chiron. So Chiron has been the big focus as far as healing the wounds of what? With Venus right there conjunct, it's money, it's values on a global level, right? So, and it's the house of Aries, which is the self, which is feeling independent, because between Aries is wanting to do things solo Lola, right? It's me, myself, I, which is Aries. And then we've got Uranus, which is all about change. So there's this semi-sextile when planets are next to each other. A sextile is 60 degrees, but they're 30 degrees. So it's called a semi-sextile. And so what that means is it's making an adjustment, right? On our values, what we value, we're learning to value ourselves. We're learning to value our sovereignty, our independence, our ability to be creative, Aries, to create things on our own. But then Uranus is also, how can we be individuated but still be in community, right? So this is the adjustment of, yes, we're bringing our individuated gifts to the collective energy, but in a new way, in a sovereign way. And our values are shifting, right? We're not interested now in supporting the big war machine, which we can see the last time this conjunct happened, there was a war happening, right? So the war, what I'm seeing, is very much an internal war of the mind, because again, Uranus is the higher octave of the mind. It's the nervous system, and Jupiter's expanding that. So when I asked, what does Jupiter rule? Jupiter is associated with the liver, hips, thighs, the lower midsection of the body, and overall growth and expansion within the body. It's also linked with themes of abundance, wisdom, and optimism in astrological interpretations. And so the liver, I know through studying Louise Hayes and her work on you can heal yourself, and there's certain energetics that we store within the body that can manifest as dis-ease, right? So all of us can also be feeling with the liver anger, which is also a signifier of Aries, right? So this is the time right now when I'm sensing as a collective energy and within myself is there's things that are being brought up from early adulthood, early childhood, because it's getting the Chiron in Aries. And there's thoughts about how, where there was stored anger in the liver, there was stored anger in the hips. I don't know if you guys can relate. There's been a lot of, working with the hips. My body's been really called to do, I've had to do yoga and stretches and movements every day because there's this soreness. It's like a tightness. It's almost like there's energy that's expanding in these parts of the body, especially, the my upper spine area, my cranial area, again, the hips area. So I've had to do movements to create expansion, to create movement in these areas because things are shifting, things are changing. And so I don't know if you guys can relate to that, because again, Taurus rules the body, right? It's all the senses. And our sixth sense, which is our intuition, which is the higher mind or higher octave, because Uranus rules the mind, right? It's an air sign. So what was coming in really strong is that the technology that's emerging is emerging within. So as it is, so it is within, so it is without, so it is above, so it is below, right? These are some of the Hermetic principles if you study Hermeticism. And that's one of the founding fundamental principles. And I know there's 7 of them, and you guys can check that out on your own self-study. Again, everything is on the internet, guys. Just use your filtration system before you download any information. But the Hermetic principles coming out of the Emerald tablets, these are references that you can look up and start setting for your own self-gnosis. But how I'm integrating it into my gnosis with the knowledge of astrology as an integrative approach to wellness and health, and how to work with these energies from the perspective of astrology, is it's coming in because this conjunction, and we can already start feeling this conjunction energy approaching, is there's going to be Uranus unexpected aha revelation changes, right? These are some of the words that are identifiers with this energy in our money, in our values, in our body. So as we start accessing technologies within the body through the fundamental workings of breath, meditation, spiritual practices. Again, we've got this nice sextile happening with Pisces, Saturn, and Mars, which are still in a light conjunction. They're within 7 degrees, but they're still, they're still close together. So taking action, Saturn is our structure in our spiritual nature, 12th house, Pisces rules Pisces. And if we're taking action right now, especially since Mars is almost exact conjunct at 22 degrees, so there's a sextile happening between Jupiter and Uranus with Mars. So this is how I'm looking at it, 60 degrees. And sextile is a nice harmonious flow. It's a harmonious interaction. So if we're staying with our spiritual practices, if we're taking action every day towards nurturing the body, towards making space within the body, Taurus, to allow these new unexpected currents of energy, of technologies to come through. Because right now, as a collective energy, we are getting ready to move to free energy, but we've got to free those energy aspects within ourselves. So another wayshower that I've been following that's really been leading the path for over 30 years plus as a physicist, his name is Dan Winters. I would highly recommend studying his work as far as working with phi, and he calls it the Planck technology, and working with the spin of the toroidal field, and how if we're not, and he's been emphasizing this a lot about how there's a physics to the soul, to our soul evolution, which is Pisces, right? So there's new technological advances. There's new ways that physicists, spiritual physicists, now I consider Dan Winter very much connected to his spiritual nature, but also comes from the physicist's mind. So this is also something, because Jupiter rules spirituality. It's natural law, right? So we're starting to see now in a new way, through new awareness, through the mind, that the technology really is within the human body. And the more that we cultivate the practices of meditation, of movement, of intention, of knowing how our toroidal fields flow and move, how we get connected to the phi through nature, through grounding, that these are actually old technologies that were the future. The past was the future. This is Saturn, right? Saturn coming up to show that, hey, the things that our ancestors did in the way, way past, back when the pyramids were built, Now we're even having new technological aha revelations about how old these technologies were, what they've done, how they've created free energy within the toroidal field of the body. Now we're looking at also polymaths like Robert Edward Grant, who's talking about the original language, which is mathematics, Mayat, which is telling the truth of our nature. Also looking at wayshowers like Savan Bomar and Secret Energy, and understanding, communities that have been around for many, many years, 16 years now. He's been cultivating this community. I've been with him for 7 years now. And again, just aligning myself with wayshowers that feel a vibrational match to truth, because truth is a frequency. So is the lie, but it's taken many, many years and still taking many, many years to unfold. This is Pisces, right? What the truth is and what the lies have been, where there's been deception or illusion, right? So we're starting to see now as a collective energy where we have been misguided or been told to look outside of us, when really the technology, if we allow ourselves to activate it within us, using very simple techniques. And also there's new technologies now. I'm just now collaborating with a wellness center here in Florida called R3 Miracles. And I would highly recommend to check them out, because they are also collaborating with Dan Winters on the new Therify technologies, and basically regridding your electrical field to create that toroidal field for ease, for grace, for fluid movement, so that the body can get into its own states of homeostasis with the help of these technologies, right? Through these grand remembrances of who we are, what we are. We're bioelectrical beings, and we have it in terms of gender. It's masculine and feminine, but not in terms of gender as far as we know it. It's actually about physics. It's electrical and magnetic. So if you can this is also Uranus detaching away from what you think you know, to allow space for Jupiter to come in with a whole new expanded awareness of what? The body, right? The body, the currency system, the current that we use, which is our monetary system, is directly related and corresponding to our electrical system, our electrical current, right? We are the current of energy. We are the abundance. And again, these are wayshowers that I've been following, that I've been studying with, to just weave in through my own gnosis, which is the time right now, Aries. It's time for you to do your own research to find out what feels true for you. And, if it's not a resonant vibrational match, it doesn't activate you and propel you towards a path of wellness, of sovereignty, then I would look at that and say, is that just an indoctrination? Is that an old belief? Is that an old training or teaching through perhaps religion or through education, the education system of the past, which is also where we can see there's major changes happening there too, that's dissolving because Jupiter's involved. And of course, Uranus is changing that. So even the divine wisdom, the knowledge, the gnosis that we've had access to is shifting and it's changing. So just taking a short pause and a deep breath now, because a lot of this is channeled information. This is me having done the inner work of hydrating, of moving my body, of turning on my central channel, of allowing my brain to just be the radio station so I can allow myself to imbibe with these energies. And again, integrated through my own voice box, Taurus. Taurus also rules the throat. So this is also a time to start working with lymphatic, making sure your lymphs are drained, making sure there's no clutter in any of your systems, your filtration systems. It's time to clean out the filters of the body. So this is also an initiation point of taking action on learning more about the body, learning more about how your operating systems work, because again, this conjunction for me is revealing that we are the technologies. These technological advances are actually emerging within and then bringing it without so we can see it on the world stage. This is an opportunity also to regrid these war codes of what's happening. We know that the last time this conjunction happened, we said was 1941, which we knew World War II was going on. So depending on your thought form patterns, if you're seeing there's wars happening right now on the world stage, so we are in another war entanglement, but can you go and in this now time moment, imagine, this is Pisces, imagine a new technological advance where all of a sudden we're using these new systems of communication and our medical technologies and free energy to free up the need for us to be in war, to free up humanity to where all of a sudden we're not valuing these war codes, we're not putting money or we're not being taxed, right? Because even if you look at the word taxed, it's to put pressure on, right? We're not taxing ourselves or our communities anymore. We're dropping that. There's a huge transformation aspect happening. And of course, we know this is Pluto in Aquarius. And here's Pluto right here at 2 degrees. And it's also trining, see, some aspects of Aries, right? So it's a light trine, but I'm sorry, not trining, sextiling. So it's a 30 degree. And then, so Pluto is our power, right? And of course, Uranus is groups, organizations. So the power dynamics are shifting. Now we're going to be moving into Pluto going retrograde and going back into Capricorn, which is governing systems. This is happening in September through November. And there's going to be like a culmination or a summing up that we might even see the current governing systems collapsing or coming in and transforming on a deeper level so that we can move forward fully with Pluto in Aquarius moving after for another 20 years happening in November, right? So we know November is also a voting season here in the United States. So this is not the time to be in fear. This is actually the time to practice this Aries, which is to practice the courage of allowing yourself to transform towards what you value. So this is a time for you to really look at what your value systems are. I would, during this time period, if you can, carve out a space on April 20th, a time to go into deep meditation, contemplation, go outside in nature, make sure you're using your magnesium spray, make sure you're hydrated, and allow yourself to connect to the earth, because you're going to be given new awareness, new insights out of the blue, like, oh my gosh, I never saw this before about my body, about my money, how to generate more current this way, doing what I love, right? Taking initiation, taking action, starting a project that's always been maybe in the back of my mind. But again, we know Uranus rules the higher mind, so it's bringing to the forefront your true hopes, wishes, dreams, your personal fulfillment of what you want to bring to this earth. It's time for us to stand up and to bring our gifts, our own individuated gifts, Aries, to the collective energy, Uranus, Aquarius. It's time to share our message, our tools, our own technological advances that are emerging within us. And for those that have been doing the deep dive and been working and have been shedding, again, Pluto, this is also Scorpionic, right? Shedding those old layers of what we were, what we thought we were, what we've been indoctrinated to believe we were, into these little boxes, into these little containers, that now is expanding. And so now we're starting to see that even as education is shifting and changing, I'm starting to notice that more and more people are going to podcasts. They're starting to learn through each other, right? Through sharing our own wisdom, by asking different questions, by creating a new platform for knowledge, for sharing, for wisdom growing on any and all topics that are available, because the internet is the Akashic records, right? And so, just allowing yourself to be a magnet for new knowledge, new technology, and that's going to help all of humanity, not just bits and pieces of us, not just the 1%, right? It's the redistribution. It's decentralization. There is no one central aspect of humanity that's ruling everything, right? That's what's collapsing, and that's what's shifting and changing. Decentralized me now we're all in this big field together. And based on the action you take, the creativity that you generate, the more that you tap into your own inner wisdom and gnosis, that's where your own healing codes abound. So this is the time really to tune in to what is your joy bliss. And again, I would go back to study Dan Winter. He talks about being in the bliss state, because in those bliss states, that's where the repair and the regeneration of the body happens, is when we're in bliss, when we're outside, when we're grounded, we're bioelectrical beings, right? So if you don't have a grounding wire, then you have erratic thought form patterns, you have erratic imbalances in the body that will show up. So this is what's being generated right now, is the new awareness of the body as the technology, and new ways to integrate your spiritual practices through Pisces, right? Mars taking action every day. This is the discipline. This is the discipleship. These words are woven together. This is the devotional practice, devoting yourself to being your authentic self, whatever that means, outside of judgment, which could also be Jupiter, right? So this is also to be mindful, to pay attention to if you're judging the body, right? A lot of us have been told that if we don't look a certain way or have a certain amount of money in the bank, that we're not worthy, right? So remember, these are old thought form patterns that are able to dissolve, to go, wait a minute, my true abundance is in how well I feel. My wealth is my health, right? So we're starting to value our bodies. We're starting to value ourselves. We're starting to value our own creations and our own intuitive guidance on how to take care of our bodies, because this is also Aries, right? So it's intuition. It's about learning about the self in a whole new way, and trusting that this life is for you, and that there is a divine order to this cosmic play that we're in. We just didn't know it. So we would have perceived chaos when really there is nothing but a divine order. And it's through mathematics, it's through the study of geometry. Again, Robert Edward Grant, I would highly recommend studying some of his work. And then going into the deep occult knowledge with Saban Bomar, and podcasters who are sharing information like Aubrey Marcus and Blue of the Earth, right? These are some of the podcasters I follow, or even Dr. Zach Bush. He's talking about how we need to get, more of a diversity in our gut biome and what that looks like. And so there's new science emerging. There's new technology emerging. There's new wayshowers who this is the new education system is each other. So you're going to be seeing more of an expanse in podcasting. So if you're out there and you're being called to speak your truth, to share your art, to share your gifts, to share your music, because this is also going to be the new medical system, is going to be light and vibration and sounds and coherence. So tuning into the ancestral wisdom keepers, now we're starting to see that even these churches were built on ley lines, which were originally healing centers, right? Based on sounds. That's why you play the organ, because it's actually allowing the organs to stabilize and to get into coherence, which is the bell, right? So when they sound the bells is actually the ark. It's the chalice, right? It's where we house these energies. And again, weaving your own gnosis with wayshowers that are sharing truth. And again, it's up to you to discern what truth is for you. This is Jupiter, because you're going to be expanded in a whole new way of integrating with the body, integrating with yourself, and integrating with the collective energies, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your community. This is what this conjunction to me is bringing, is a level of sovereignty that we have not been able to access up until now. But it's not about looking to the big brother or to the father energy or the governing systems to take care of things for us. We are the change we've been waiting for, and the change is happening internally. So please, I would recommend at some point, take these next few days, right, to tune into the frequency of the earth, to tune into your own gnosis, to allow yourself to be expanded, to allow Jupiter to come in to expand you. And with Uranus, allow these new aha moments, these new divine like flashes of lightning insights that are coming in. And especially, I love working with the subconscious, programming, asking a question before the sleep state. This is Pisces. Because if you ask the question, then the answer has to be, there's no question without the answer, right? They live in, this is the polarity. If you have a question, the answer is also within you. It's just allowing yourself to tap into your own inner gnosis. So this is a whole revamping of what we're allowing ourselves to see. We've also got this beautiful trine energy happening with the moon will be in Virgo, which is about our health consciousness. It's about purification. It's about really the most purified. We're having, the moon will be our emotional nature, right? We're having really an emotional need to connect to what? To Taurus, our true values, not what we've been indoctrinated to believing what we wish we should want, but really tuning into our own essence of, why did I come here? Asking the bigger questions philosophically, Jupiter, why am I here? What am I here to express? Taurus, through my throat. What am I here to purify within myself so I can really access this technology that I know lies dormant within me? And maybe just by asking those questions, and I say, I allow myself to be activated right now. I know this current of energy here is for me. It's all for here humanity. I'm willing to release what I thought I was. I'm willing to drop the masks. I'm willing to drop the old patterns of behavior. I'm willing to start a new discipleship, Saturn, Pisces. I'm willing to start a new devotional practice of loving myself, of loving my body, of accessing these technologies deep within me that my ancestors left me through my DNA, through these activations that may have been lying dormant, right? So we just came off of this eclipse season in Aries. It was a huge eclipse and we're still in the window of it, right? We're going to see the effects, feel the effects of 6 months, if not for a year, I'd even say, this whole next year of expansion through new thoughts, new technologies, new action forms, new creative momentum. So take this activation point now, harness and use this energy through awareness. Just knowing the energies around you is power. So be willing to right now, in this now moment, generate your own power centers within by activating through what? Meditation, through purification, maybe do a cleanse, maybe do a little bit of fasting during this time, right? Because when you fast, things come in faster. And Uranus like speed, right? It's just like flashes again. I think of lightning flash. It's so quick. But if you allow yourself to be light and in the body, right? And just maybe just going into fluids. I love charging my water with copper because things, again, are charged quicker. And just accessing your own technologies within you. Ask your body, what do you need? What can I do to support you during this transit? There's this conjunction happening. I don't necessarily know what it means, but I know that I want to support you because things are changing. That's what Uranus signifies. And sometimes it's unexpected change and it's not the way you think because it's never what you think, but it's about feeling into this expression, feeling into the change that's occurring naturally already and making space for it. Allowing these energies to come through your central channel, right? Through your breath, through your stillness, through your grounded feet, barefoot, feet on the ground, so that you can channel and harness it, right? Like an electrical current, just let it come right through you, connecting, because you can only ascend as high as you are grounded. So you've got to make sure that you're grounded during this time because that's how much you can jettison and propel yourself to a next timeline, to a next dimensional atmospheric space of knowledge, of community, of communing with those who are also ascending, who I think of it like that bow and arrow, right? Jupiter is that Sagittarius. Is like we're getting ready to propel ourselves into a whole new timeline. And we're doing it in community. And so we're doing it together. So if you're drawn to this channel, thank you, because that means you're a vibrational match to this experience that we're all doing the work together to harness these energies, to do the internal work, to project out a new experience for humanity. And it's not based on these old war codes. That's something that we've already been through that cycle. So this is an opportunity to cycle up. Yes, war, meaning, friction, was creation, but we can recreate from a new sustainable way. And I'm even looking at fusion energy, right, from the sun, which is perpetual, right? There doesn't have to be friction. It just is. And this, again, we're going to start seeing scientists come out with a whole new explanation of the universe, of our cosmology, of how quantum energy is transcends time. We're going to be moving faster than the speed of light, right? We're going to have the technology now released that we've already had, that we're now going to be seeing, that's going to be accessible now to most of us, but you have to access that technology within to be able to see it outside of us. So if enough of us do it, I think of like the 100th monkey, right? If just 100 of us do this, then that's what's going to change this whole timeline experience for all of us. So please stay in your practice, be the disciple, be diligent in turning out the white noise of what other people are saying around you. Don't get caught up in the fear, right? Because it's currents of energy. And just like when you go out to the ocean, if there's massive undertow currents coming in, it'll take you, right? It'll take you into that current and take you on a path in a direction that you don't want to go. So be mindful of the currents of energy that you surround yourself with the people that you surround yourself with the body of knowledge and what you're intaking through sound, vibration, through media, right? Use your discernment, please. Filter out purification. This is Virgo. Filter out what's around you. Filter your body. Clean up your vessel and allow yourself to have a new experience. Oh, as I'm saying this, Tanner's now, my older dog, is he's spitting up stuff, right? So he's purifying now, even as I'm talking about this. Oh my gosh, and he's a Taurus. So this is what he's just showing me right now is I'm hearing him do that. And he's okay. He just does this periodically. It's a purging time. It's a time to purge that which you thought you knew, and old patterns, beliefs, old sensitivities, old ways of being. It's time to purge that out to make room for the new, because there's massive amounts, terabytes I'm hearing, of downloads of information that want to be integrated into your system, but you got to make space for it. So even if you're feeling the time to rest, because Taurus is also a very kind of restful, and the sun's going to be in Taurus at 1 degree, right? So it's very much about slowing down the energy, allowing yourself to be very methodical and purposeful in all your movements, especially with we have this with the retrograde in Aries, which is, slowing down the mental processes, slowing down the action that you want to take. Taking a sacred pause before you do anything, even if you're about to consume with something. Maybe ask your body, hey, is this in your highest vibration? Ask your frequency, hey, is this in your highest vibration to consume this? Start muscle testing. If these terms are new to you, that you don't know what they mean, please go look them up, research them. Muscle testing, body kinesiology. And again, I've already mentioned some wayshowers that I've been following, where I'm getting my gnosis from, and then I'm integrating it into my own gnosis through a divine remembrance by following teachers who, for me, speak truth, who are doing the work, and who are speaking in a coherent way that's more unifying for everybody. So I hope this finds value. I hope you found value in this content, this information. And livzenastrology is here to help you and humanity access through the birth chart, the divine remembrance of where these energies are happening for you, because we have our own healing abilities. And what this allows is the blueprint of where you can self-generate and heal, and how the action steps you can take towards supporting you in your healing journey. I'm not here to heal you. I'm here to facilitate and hold the environment through the gnosis of astrology to help you access your own healing abilities. So if you're interested in reaching out and having a session and having a conversation, allowing me to hold the space for you, I'd be honored to do so. Reach out, Lives in Astrology. Go to my Facebook page. That's where you can book appointments and you can connect with me. Also, check out Lives in Astrology Explorers. We're going to be doing more deep dives and more workshops and collaborations on how to use the birth chart for our evolution as we're going into these deeper topics. And as the community is starting to, I can feel, when we all collectively, I think of like a school of fish, right? We're all in a momentum moving in a certain direction. So there's certain topics, there's certain things that the collective would like to speak about, and we can do it in a very intimate setting through Lives and Astrology Explorers. So please check that out as well if you want to join. It's a private group. You just have to answer a few questions and then join the community that way. So again, thank you for your time and space and energy. Thank you for connecting to this content. If you're here, I'm so appreciative of your time spent connecting with me to this channel. And please, please go and during this time period, feed, nurture yourself, allow space for these new aha currents of energy that want to come through, because this is the time for this huge change in collective energy. But we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change, as within, so without, as above, so below. And so take time for yourself during this time and allow space for this information to come in and through in a grounded and practical, but also a beautiful, awe-inspiring way. Thank you for sharing your energy and time and space, guys. I love you, and so much love. All right, blessings to you. Bye.